Hey, did you know that Two Girls Shooting the Shit is on Instagram and Facebook? We'd love to hear your feedback, episode suggestions, or just chat with you about life. So follow, comment, and share. That's been programmed into me. And so that's how I feel when I hear that word. I don't want to hear somebody say, I have a primary. I am the primary.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. If I'm with somebody, I'm the primary.
I'm the only.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Yeah, that's a good point. Primary and
only.
only.
Be number one bitch when you got 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I am the only. Hey, Mo.
Hey, girl, what's up?
Not a whole lot. It's been a crazy day.
How so?
Just busy, life. How's your day been?
Same. So I feel you. Same stuff, different day.
Well, I'm glad we got time to fit in this little chit-chat session.
Me too. What are we talking about?
Well, today is a fun topic. We are talking about polyamory.
Ooh,
that big
yes.
love.
What's that?
Do you want to tell everybody about the research that we did on this topic?
I just asked you. You didn't hear me? I said, what's that?
Oh, Lord. Well, whew, it has been one of those days, hasn't it? We had the opportunity to interview, an acquaintance of Mo's who practices or is polyamorous. I don't know if it's, I still am coming away without an idea of whether it's an identity or it's a practice. But we had the chance to talk with her, kind of get some questions answered, and just kind of learn a little bit more about polyamory, since all these people on Tinder or whatever try to get you roped up into their polyamorous relationship.
Right. I don't know. Well, at least they like me, so
Hey,
I don't know. I haven't.
Be that unicorn.
I tried to. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. So, unicorn, right? That's like the single woman who would join as the third in a polyamorous
No, it's not a throuple.
relationship, right?
I don't know. First of all, how do you feel about it? Would you be open to polyamory? Is that something? Because it sounds like from our dating episode, that's not what you're looking for. I mean, would you be open to it? I mean, what are your feelings on it?
I mean, at this point, I go back and forth. I mean, I'll talk to people because it's like the most intelligent, witty, cute guys.
Yes.
Are always poly.
Yes.
Like you read this whole, and they do you dirty too.
They put it
Today
at the
I saw
bottom.
a guy, he had all these cats and stuff. I was like, yes, cute guy, nerdy.
Educated, yeah, he had that
cats,
education.
Educated.
Beautiful smile.
And boom, poly.
Yep.
Like, dang. I
put that up
think
top.
I'm at a point in life. Yeah, right. Put it at the top, or at least give me I wish there was an app where I could scrub for it. And it's like, for me, it's a personal thing because I haven't had a lot of experience dating, and so I want to experience a monogamous relationship to see how it is. I don't even know how would I act.
Why do you want Why do you want to experience that?
Because I just want partnership. I want to see how it is to interact with someone, the vibe off of each other, to see how it, I don't know how it is. I want that experience. And then from there I can say, okay, I want more of this. Let me, open this up. I don't know. But, it's I just want to experience it because it's something I haven't. So I can't even say. We talked about reality TV the other day, and what I realized is a lot of these shows are based on childhood ideals.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. So I just want to date someone, have that partnership, have that intimacy, and see how I feel. Am I comfortable? Am I able to communicate effectively?
Mm-hmm.
Is he or whoever, are they able to communicate effectively?
Right. You just want to experience
so just
that.
All kinds of things. Yeah. And then from there, maybe I'll be like, okay, this is cool. Well, I can have more of this. And I can still have you on the side. But it's for me, I just don't feel like that would be the case, because even in dating, once I find someone I like, it's really hard for me to switch it up between even just talking to people, because I'll get into a groove, especially someone when I'm in a good groove with. I don't want to talk, I don't want to date other people.
Yeah.
It just doesn't interest me at all. And so I'm like, is that my codependency, or is it just like a normal thing? Like, so that I'm doubting myself.
One thing I didn't really enjoy, or I have a hard time with when I speak with people who are poly, is that it, there seems to be a level of condescension to those of us that are monogamous, like we haven't unprogrammed ourselves, or we haven't freed ourselves from this patriarchal system that's holding us down, like all this stuff. And it can be sort of offensive. I mean, for me, if somebody wants to practice polyamory, that's fine. It doesn't impact me any. Do you, whatever. I don't understand it. It doesn't have a place in my life. I'm like what you said just now. If I find someone, obviously my husband, that I love, care about, right? I mean, obviously I'm in a monogamous relationship, but if I find somebody that I love and I care about, I'm putting my energy on that, on him. I'm not. I think the idea, and I've talked to my husband about this, just his thoughts on polyamory, and we are on the same page, which is probably why we are okay. We do well together, but
yeah,
attraction doesn't always need to be acted on. I feel like you are going to be attracted. He and I are married. We love each other very much. We are attracted to each other, but I would not fault him for being attracted to a beautiful woman who walks by, and he wouldn't do the same if I found somebody, attractive out wherever we are. In my definition of relationship, attraction exists. Sometimes it's nice to know that someone's attracted to you that's not your partner, whatever, but it doesn't mean you have to act on it. And I don't understand the idea that that's one of the main reasons why you would have a polyamorous relationship, is because you have attraction to many people, which is normal and natural. It's just that you don't have to. I mean, I guess you can if that's what you want to, but don't talk down to me because I'm choosing not to act on all of those attractions.
So I believe, because I heard the same words and I didn't feel like I was being talked down on. So I wonder what is the attachment to make you feel like it was being talked down? Because those are pretty common words. You hear it in different communities when you talk about deprogramming. It's basically saying the way we're raised up to see the standard things. For instance, back in the day, people might have said that about homosexual relationships, like, oh, we got to get deprogrammed. So I can understand with that, and I didn't take any offense to it, or maybe because I know the person and so know how to speak. But when I think about the whole poly thing, it makes me think about the animal kingdom. Like, who all is monogamous? That's very rare, right? In the animal
penguins,
kingdom?
I think, mate for life.
So
we are animals.
There are a few, right?
There are a few animals that do mate for life. We are animals, sure, but we also have reason. We also have an elevated level of intelligence. I don't think that everything is just baseline what's physical, because that's what animals do. It's physical. I need to mate. I need to procreate.
It's chemical too.
Yeah,
hormonal.
That's physical, right?
Physical. Yeah.
But we attach a thought process to it, and of course we all approach things with different thought processes. But I know that there is more to polyamory than physical relations. I know that, from our interview, I know that there can be polyamorous relationships where it's based on an intimacy of knowing somebody and the non-physical aspects of relationship. I understand that, but for me, I view that as a friendship, not a relationship, in quotes I'm putting. The sex.
So what is a relationship?
I mean, a relationship is just two people relating, I guess, right? I mean, you can have good relationships, bad relationships, right? I mean, isn't that just, you break it down?
But you said the friendship wasn't a relationship, so that's what I was trying to understand for myself.
I'm talking about romantic relationships. I think that there is a huge, that sex is a huge defining act to me. It's not something I engaged in casually. It's not something that for me is, and I know that that's not everybody thinks that way. So if it is something that's casual or doesn't hold the amount of weight that it does for me, then I can understand how polyamory may be easier to practice and to embrace into one's life. But for me, it does carry a lot of weight. And it's a tie that connects two people on a deeper level than friends or siblings or any other person that we may love in our life. So that's why that's not something that I would share with multiple people, because it's a very serious connection that you have
I
with
think
someone.
I think it's part of our upbringing too. I mean, we're both
Absolutely.
confirmed Catholics,
Absolutely. I,
so
I, I, I
I mean,
absolutely,
I'm not
yeah,
practicing.
I'm not confirmed either.
Yeah.
I'm Catholic. I haven't been confirmed. But I definitely our upbringing, and I don't see anything wrong with my upbringing. And when that's challenged by somebody, um, whether they know me or not, it's kind of that's where the feelings of not being attacked, but it's just like the language. There is a level I felt like a condescending tone, like you're not woke enough to be able to have multiple relationships, or you're not, you know what I mean? You're not you haven't freed yourself yet to have multiple relationships. And that's how I took it, because I am monogamous. And I have no interest in polyamory in my life. So it's kind of, I mean, I think people give the same criticism to vegans, right? Because, and you know this, it's not a criticism of you or veganism in general, because I could see myself embracing that, but I can see the merits to why people are vegan, right? And so sometimes it can be like, oh, well, like, how could you do that? Or why are you doing that? You're not on this next level of awareness or next level of respect of all living, whatever. So that's how I feel. It's like I haven't, it's approaching it as if me as a monogamous person, I haven't evolved yet to where this person is.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's not a pleasant feeling.
That's ego.
What's ego?
That's the ego. When you allow people to impact your feelings with their words.
No.
Words are fake.
Words have meaning. Words absolutely have meaning. And I don't think it's ego.
But those words didn't. You put a bunch of meaning into it. But the words on their face, what do they mean?
Right. But when you're speaking, you are relaying meaning. You're not just putting words out. Words on paper in any order don't have meaning. But if you're going to speak something out into the world, they have a lot of weight and meaning.
Like, I'll give you an example. When I was a kid growing up, people used to always be like, "You're fat," and I would hate it. And now if somebody calls me fat, like, okay, and that doesn't lower my self-esteem.
But that word
still
like, has a meaning.
Yeah.
You just have your own, like.
Yeah, I have my own, what I'm giving it to it. So that's what I'm saying. Words, that's what I meant when I said they're fake. We give our own meaning to them. And so, like, when you talked about veganism, it's funny because I was thinking that when you were talking about animals and sex and physical, because you said, we are evolved. And that's what I was thinking. We are evolved. We don't have to eat meat. We literally don't have to.
But we are evolved. We are evolved to the point where we're not living like we did as animals. I mean, I don't feel like that's something that can be refuted. We used to walk around, naked or however, eating.
Oh, I know we're evolved. That's my argument, is that we're so evolved that we don't even have to eat meat anymore. That's what I was just tying it back to the veganism.
I mean, okay.
You getting crunk, girl? What's up?
No, but I don't know how to express it because
use those words.
Oh, well, here's my thing: is like I said, like I'm.
Is it uncomfortable? Maybe because I see you kind of like
it's not
squirming.
Uncomfortable. I'm trying to be mindful of my words. Like I said, like I have. I can respect anybody's choice to live their life however they want to, as long as they're not hurting each other or themselves. That's my overarching thing. So I'm trying.
As long as they have a safe word.
Yes, safe words are important. But I like, because it's not my life to live. That's where I'm coming from. But I am making.
So are you afraid of offending someone? So you're not saying what you're trying to say?
Offending someone?
Are you trying to find the words?
Well, no, what I'm saying is I'm monogamous, and I don't think that there is it feels like there's a judgment value there. And this is maybe a reverse on what, maybe it's a minority opinion if I'm having a conversation with a bunch of polyamorous people. So, maybe somebody who's coming into a conversation with a bunch of monogamous people and says, oh, I'm poly, they're going to be like, I don't know what you're doing, whatever. So that's how I felt on the reverse. I felt like,
it's kind of
my monogamous choices were being questioned as, why do you do that? Like I didn't do it of my own will. I did it because I was programmed to do so. And I probably was programmed to do so, but I'm enjoying this. This is the life I have. I'm loving my life. But because I'm not living or understanding or accepting polyamory into my life doesn't mean that I haven't reached that level of awareness that allows
Yeah,
me.
I would love to ask her. We could follow up and see if that's what she meant, because I just personally don't think she
I
did, and
don't
I
think
didn't
she
take it
meant it that way
that
either.
way.
But the words
Um,
that are used, there's a lot of buzzwords that are used, um, and a lot of
but
things.
why does deprogram? I mean, what does that mean to you?
It means
Maybe that's
that the
help me
choices I'm
understand.
making are not my own. I've been made.
We just said we were born Catholic. We've been programmed, right? I mean,
I mean,
program. What does programming mean to you? I guess. What does it mean? Let's see.
I don't know, because I don't know that I've been programmed. I mean, we live in a society, we live in a world, the structure of which is decided by whomever, but this is the world we live in. I'm living within this world. I don't know what more to
Because
say
it just
about that.
reminded me. It's kind of reminded me of racial conversations. Like if I'm talking to someone who's not black, or maybe, so for instance, someone from Europe, or someone who's not black from Europe, or something like that. And I'm talking about my oppression, and then they get offended. I'm like, this is not about you.
But
this is about my oppression.
But we weren't talking about her oppression. We weren't talking about
but I think
oppression at all.
as a black person, that's a part of my story. So we could be talking about anything, and that will come into my story.
Right. Well, maybe we need to splice in the words that she used so that it can give some context to what I'm saying, because it's a question of, there was some discussion about, your polyamory is about the capacity to love, and we have, the definition we were given was the ability to love many people. We love our parents, we love our children, we love our siblings, we love our friends. And to me, that didn't make any sense. Yes, we do love those people.
I said it.
Yeah, you're on the same page as me as far as this goes. It didn't make sense. Yes, we do love those people, but you can't equate love of a sibling or a child or a parent to a romantic sexual love. So that definition, or that argument in support of, I don't think it's an argument, because we weren't having an argument. We're just having a discussion about what is this, that explanation of polyamory doesn't hold water to me. It doesn't. I mean, I know we're capable of loving more than one person, but I am not capable of loving more than one person the way I love my husband,
In life, like if anything ever happened in the future, 50 years from now, would you still be unable to love? Like if you were no longer with your husband for any reason, would you still be able to love?
I feel like.
Oh, you mean not at the same time?
At the same time, yeah. Because
okay.
I've loved people before. It's not,
Yeah, I have. I mean, I don't know what love is.
I don't think I have the capacity to have the love that I feel for my husband for multiple people at one time. That just doesn't seem like something I'm capable of. And I don't know
even
that
have
people
a
are
husband.
capable of anybody's capable of doing that. That's I guess the part that I'm struggling with is I don't think it is humanly possible to love and give attention to and nurture a relationship to thrive if you're doing it, if you're spreading yourself out. That's where I'm coming from, I guess. Or maybe
I don't know.
Me.
Do you watch any of those shows? Yeah. Do you watch any of those shows? Because I know for some reason I just don't get into them. The more reality ones that shows like actual couples and stuff, or whatever.
I'm drawing a blank. Sister Wives, that one.
For some reason I can't watch it, and I want to know what inside of me makes me averse to watching it. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just not entertaining to me, but I can't I can feel it in my arm right now. It's something
really?
It's like I can't watch it, and I don't know why.
Does it turn you off? Like I can't upset you, or
I don't know. Or maybe I feel jealous, like they're taking extra people, and I'm out here by myself.
I've watched those shows, and I think that's the difference. I mean, that's polygamy, where you're married to multiple, right? That's marriage. That's like a step.
I don't know if they're married.
Oh, okay. Well, I watched that. I love the idea.
I don't think that's not even legal.
It's not.
These were like
that's
not
bigamy, polygamy
anywhere.
Well, the ones that I've watched, I think I've watched Sister Wives, and I love the idea of just the communal feel. They all know about each other. They are all family. They are sister. I'm putting in quotes, sister wives. They support each other. When a new person comes in, it's a decision that they all make or whatever. I don't know. I do see the societal like issues with it, like one husband, multiple wives. Like obviously there's like a patriarchal thing going on.
Yeah, what's the
That's
opposite called?
problematic. I have no idea. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
Problematic. You said problematic.
Well, I mean,
No,
it's
I'm just kidding. I
problematic
know you
when
weren't talking about it.
I'm the husband. I can have as many wives as I want, and I get you on Wednesday, because
Yeah.
that's literally how it was in the show. Wednesday nights, I sleep at this house
Mm-mm.
with this person on this, and that to me doesn't feel good. Like I don't know.
Yeah, same. It doesn't make me
That
feel
doesn't.
good.
Don't schedule me in to be
It
your
makes
wife
me
on these
sad.
days. You know what I mean? Like, and I
Yeah.
know you're sleeping over at her house.
But yeah, and I feel like that's something like that's and this brings us right to a question I have that I still don't have an answer for. It's like, does it make me sad because I feel inadequate because now you're going with some other person and that I don't have this time and now I'm by myself? Like, or do they feel like they're complete and so they're just so full of love that they just have so much to share?
I don't feel like that's possible, and that's maybe
But
why
just because you
I'm
don't feel that it's possible doesn't mean it's not
right.
possible,
Well,
right?
well, I can only speak from what my brain is telling me and what my experience has
Yeah.
informed me. And what I'm saying is, and this was brought up in our interview as well. If you're with your boyfriend and you love him and he cheats on you, it has been something programmed in me, years of telling me you don't allow that. That is not allowed. You do not
Yeah.
bend to somebody who's disrespected you. You do not then open up your relationship and 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 forgive that transgression and make it an open relationship if that's not what you wanted. So,
Yeah.
and that's something that's hard because you want to hold on, stay with me, I love you. Like, what can I do to make this work? Like, that's what women a lot of times are, because of the programming, because of the fairy tales, made to do. Like, let's fix this. I love you. I need you. You have that. So it took years of programming and for me to learn and work on my value to say, no, you cannot do that to me and get away with it. You cannot do that to me and still have me. You don't get to have me anymore because we were monogamous. So
Mhm.
the idea of
Yeah, that's such
polyamory is
a
now,
violation
yeah,
if
it's
it's not
trust.
agreed.
And I think you can have that in
Yeah.
polyamorous relationships too. If you are not open and communicating with me, and we are in a polyamorous relationship, there's multiple people, you still, I would think it's a relationship and it's a respect thing. You should still be honest if you found somebody new to date, right? I don't feel like polyamory is just a pass to do whatever. I think it's just multiple relationships. Like I feel like you still have to treat
Hmm.
it as you would a monogamous relationship. And that's why I feel like it's really hard.
Yeah,
It
so you
doesn't
can
make
have
sense to me. That's why it's hard for me to understand.
yeah, I was gonna say you can have toxic polyamorous relationships just like you can
But
a
not, yeah,
toxic
right,
monogamous
right.
relationship. So yeah, for me, it's another thing we talked about was that whole primary thing and
Mm,
just the word primary. And I don't know if it's because I've been at second classes in a lot of times in my life, but it's just that wording has attachment. Just like we were saying, words are fake. That is a trigger one for
thank
me.
you.
That's one of my trigger words. It's like I know I'm human. I admit I'm
Yeah.
human. like it's a trigger word for me, and it's like I don't like when I hear primary, it just immediately makes me think I'm
Right.
secondary, and it's like, I know I'm not, but it's just like, that's been programmed into me. And so that's how I feel when I hear that word. I don't want to hear somebody say, I have a primary. I am the
Right.
primary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's why
If I'm with somebody, I'm the primary.
I'm the only.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I
Primary
ain't
and
trying to
only.
be number one, bitch, when you got 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
Okay, I am
exactly.
the only.
Yeah.
And if somebody thinks that's just my ego or my insecurity that's making me want to be the only, then that's just going to be what it is.
Yeah.
I don't see it that way, but
For me, even being single, like I think I was scared to date because I didn't want to get dumped. But that's not how it works. You gotta kind of try to date and see what happens.
what do they say
And
with the
so I'm like, if I
lottery? You
can't,
can't win if you don't play, kind of thing. It's a slogan, right? It's
exactly,
a
right?
slogan.
And so now I'm in the danger zone or past the danger zone. But yeah, I just can't. I'm finally comfortable with myself. I'm not trying to get myself out of anyone else, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. Because I
yeah.
felt like a lot of times I was trying to figure out who I was
Fill
through
yourself. Yeah,
guys or
yeah.
dating. Yeah. And so now I can say, well, I'm fine. If I can't find anyone, the cats and I will have a grand old time. And it's not like, oh, well, I just want to be with anyone that So even if I have to be the third or the fourth in line, that's okay. I'll see you on Tuesday.
That doesn't feel good to me.
But see, as I said that, maybe there's some people who are like, I like my independence.
Yeah.
But I still like to have, I don't want to go out and try to find somebody new. They have all these diseases out and everything. Woo. So I know on Tuesday.
Don't talk about them diseases, girl.
Right. I'm like, I know on Tuesday I got my little date every Tuesday,
right.
And I can just be my single self. Ooh, I'm trying to talk myself into. Let me.
Yeah, but is that polyamory?
Yeah, that's the open relationship one. Remember, it said something like.
But you could be. That's just date. Like that. We had this conversation. Like you can just date.
No, I mean for me, but I'm saying like if the partner had a primary.
Oh,
so if the partner had
hung
a primary,
out with you every Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm confusing myself the more I talk about this. This is an interesting subject.
To me, it's like if it makes sense to you, do it. It does not make sense to me. I'm not going to do it. But I also don't like somebody.
You don't even have the options.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who, me? I don't have the option. Oh, I mean,
to be polyamorous, you're married.
So, don't people still do that?
But that's not you. That's what I meant.
Absolutely not me. But I don't think marriage has any bearing on whether or not you could be polyamorous. But we are not.
Yeah, I think we talked about this, how relationships actually broke apart because people tried it out. They tried to like partner with other people, like to spice up the marriage, and then boom.
I've never seen that successfully executed.
Same, yeah. And even with someone we talked to, they said the same thing, like it didn't work. So. Yeah.
I don't see how it could. If you enter here's my thing. I think if you What?
Oh, so I'm going to Google and see if I can see some examples if it works.
Well, my thing is if you enter into relationships as a polyamorous person and you are upfront with it from the get-go, I think you'll have more success. This is my, hypothesis, my guess. More success in that relationship than if you enter into a relationship with someone monogamously and then later decide we're not going to be monogamous anymore. We're going to open the relationship up. I feel like it's very difficult to go from being just us two in this little bubble to now we're going to open up and let people in. I feel like that's a hard adjustment to make. But if you entered into it open from jump, I think that the expectations don't have to be realigned. You know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that's with any relationship.
A good point.
If you enter it being open and honest about what your expectations are, what you're willing to do. What?
You said that, and as I'm reading some Reddit post, they said, leave. Polyamory is based on open and honest communication. And it was an exact moment where you said open and honest.
I'm having one of those days.
It says your husband is your husband is a cheater who is incapable of that and will inevitably risk your health to get his rocks off.
Ooh.
You don't magically become honest once you go poly. Wow.
And I think that if that were to happen, you would have the conversation before you acted on that, right? Like if you think, hey, I think I am poly, then you would go to you would go to your significant other and say, I think this is what's going on with me. Let's talk about it. You wouldn't just go out and start doing stuff and then use it as an excuse after the fact.
That sounds like a manipulation. Like that sounds like a way to manipulate. Like they probably know that person. And I'm not saying all people who are poly are like this, but I'm saying this person probably, the way they're writing, had low self-esteem and just wanted to save that relationship and just, whatever they had to do to be with him. The fact that they had to go on to Reddit to ask that question, that's a lot. That's a lot of layers there.
Well, there's that codependency stuff you were talking about going on to.
Yeah, I've been there.
A site. Yeah, I mean, we all have. Go to a site and seek some kind of security or an answer for something that you already know, I'm sure. You already know the answer to.
And you feel it, you can feel it in your gut. That's usually that gut check. And they're just trying to, you shouldn't. The person cheated and then they're manipulating you. And then they're going to still be doing that. But now you're just co-signing it and you're not happy. The fact that you're even asking, are you happy? Like, you can't force yourself into it. And there's going to always be that underlying thing.
And I feel like that would be offensive if I was a polyamorous person. The people who are using it in a way to get them out of a sticky situation, it seems like. Like, if you are genuinely living your life and being ethically non-monogamous, right? I think that's what the important, like that phrase troubled me for a while, but ethically non-monogamous versus just the people who are non-monogamous, the cheaters,
Yeah.
That's the ethical part, is the respect and the conversation and the understanding between all parties involved. And if you don't have that, then you're just a cheater.
Yeah. I mean, I see them both, like you see, like married.
Your detective skills, people who don't disclose.
It's just like, oh, but even people are out here in the open talking about unhappy in my marriage, looking for some, because it's that boost. They need that boost.
That's terrible.
And so, like, when is it a boost and when is it, honestly, you just have so much love in you that, I would love any resources or anything to understand more because, like
Me
we
too.
said in the previous chat, like, it's just, I just want to understand it better. And I think, like we were saying about those words having attachment, a lot of times you are vilified if you are unsure about something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't know, understand this. You're not open to other people. I'm open. This is my life, and I don't understand. My brain is not clicking to help me understand.
Thank you.
I don't love my friend any less. Like, there's no difference. It's just I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But does that make me a bigot? No.
Okay. I wasn't calling you a bigot. Who's calling you a bigot? Dang.
I'm just talking. See? It's not you.
Well, there was another point that you brought up that I thought was important. And I think it's a hard question to answer in any relationship, but whether or not these choices or this lifestyle, I still am kind of blurred on whether or not this is something you are or something that you can choose to practice. Like, is it something that you have an awakening to and say, you know what, all this time I am this, I'm embracing this, or hey, I want to change the structure in which I have relationships, whatever. Anyways, but you were saying, do people who are polyamorous, are they coming from a place of abundance or a place of lacking? Do they have so much love that they're just able to love many people, or are they in need of something that they have to seek it from other people, from multiple people? And I think that's a point to kind of maybe get more information on. I'd like to talk to more people who are poly. Like I feel like the examples I've had so far haven't been the best.
Yeah, and I've talked to people, like I match with people who are poly. It never goes anywhere. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, did you see that? Did you read my profile? I'm like, no, I didn't even read it. I don't know what you said. Just like we were talking about before. But no, so I'll see it, ethically non-monogamous. And then I'll be like, okay, because like I said, I don't think I'm open, but let's talk. But it never goes anywhere, just like with everybody else. So it doesn't matter. I don't know. Am I doing that time wasting thing, or is it really, what would happen, like, if the opportunity came and that person, like I sent you, I was thinking if I see them, because I think when I sent them, when I went back to the app, I didn't see them. Yeah, if I see them again, I'll swipe right and just kind of, and if anything, it'll be research.
Yeah, you got to come back and let us know how that goes if it does happen.
Yeah, but I just don't want to be, and I think that is the way, like, it's a part of my personality that I've always had, and it's a cynical kind of thought, but for me, it just makes me think, like, I don't want to be the fall guy, like, I don't want to be the backup plan, like, okay, let me go have my fun, but I got you, I got you to be the backup plan, and so.
Like, wifey's out on business and I'm bored, so can you come, that's not.
Yeah, I get it. Look, we don't have to be just Tuesday this week.
Yeah. I think that's one of the secure, comforting things about monogamy is you're not. That's not a consideration or a worry that you should have. I don't know.
And if you're having it, then there's some deeper issues
there's
if you're
a problem,
right?
So I don't know. You look like you're about to say something.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's also, how do you know? Like, I was on a chat, like I was on Reddit, and I started talking to a guy, and he said he was coming to New York for business, and he wanted to meet up, and I was like, great. Met up with him, cute guy, had an accent
Ooh,
and
okay.
everything. I was like,
Accent. What kind of
ooh, this is
accent?
great. Bought I think English,
Yeah,
and paid for my wine. That's a big
yeah,
deal
it is. That's
these
yeah.
days. Can't even get a coffee these days. And then he, we went to a show, and
So a
we just had a
date.
good
You had a
time laughing and
date,
talking. But was it a date? I don't know,
like a
because he
real
never
date.
asked. He never said it's a date. He never said it was a
What else
date.
do
He
you call
said,
that?
I am in town.
This is the dating stuff I don't understand about
So,
right now. That's a date to me.
well, this is what I'm saying. I didn't know too, and I kind of
Girl,
got
you one step
excited. We
away
had a
from
little
marriage. No.
banter. We had a banter.
Yeah.
He had his little, he had little glasses on and stuff, and we were having a little banter. And you know me, I'm trying to stop, but
What did you
I got so
do? What did
excited.
you do?
Oh no, it was fine. He left and he went on his way.
Uh-huh.
And then I was kind of sad though. I said, oh, because I thought it was a date. And so,
Did you exchange numbers
never heard from
or
him
any
again.
kind of
No. And so, but we had the chat,
Uh-huh.
the Reddit chat. So I thought about him and I was like, oh, I'm just so curious about him.
Uh-huh.
Like I should have let it go, but I
Girl.
giving a dang TED talk talking about, and then his heading was like,
you set it up
proud
good.
dad.
You set it up good because I didn't know what you're talking about, but I know exactly who you're talking about now.
Yeah. I was so mad.
Married.
Like, wow.
Dang.
Like anytime it's a cute, intelligent, witty banter and everything, it's like that security. That's how I feel. It's like a security that allows you to know you have something to fall back on.
Mm-mm.
What a waste of time. I mean, thanks for the drinks. I was going to the show anyway, so.
Cute. Wow.
Live.
Yeah, live. I don't sing.
Yes, you do. That was beautiful.
Thank you. No. You know what? In having this conversation about polyamorous relationships too, with a friend of mine, another thing that came up was how do children factor into this? Because there are marriages, the pregnancies happen, things like that happen.
That sounds amazing. Free sitters.
So what happens?
Free sitters.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, not that. I mean, obviously that's a plus. Anybody with kids will tell you they will take a babysitter where they could take a babysitter, okay? No, but just then you're talking about family dynamics and what does your household look like? So that's just an interesting piece. I don't really have an opinion or a thought about it either way, as long as you're taking care of the babies.
Yeah.
But I just wonder.
But that's the
I wonder
thing,
how
then
that
the
works.
kids, I feel like if it's a community, and they're raising kind of like some of the
commune type thing.
There's a subset. Yeah, there's a subset of a church. It's not the Mormon church. It's I don't remember.
Okay.
But it's a subset, and the leader of it I think he was put in jail for child abuse or something like that.
Was it that big bus they had a while ago, like that branch or whatever?
It was, yeah. I think it was like one of those like Waco kind of things.
Yeah.
But
like a commune, yeah.
And so now, yeah, there are just a few of them left, and they're holding on. Like the elder woman is holding on. He's still in jail, and so, or maybe he even passed away.
I feel like there's a lot of child abuse and stuff like that in that type of thing.
Yeah, they still wear the outfits and everything, and so now it's kind of like that polyamory that you were talking about earlier, because they're
sister wives.
With his wives, they haven't moved on. Yeah, they're just by themselves with each other. So that whole aspect of their life is gone.
Love that. I mean, let me clarify before I just I love the idea of raising kids and raising families together. I like that idea. I think I told you about I saw something with two single moms who were friends. I don't know where the fathers of the children were or what, but they were in New York, and it's difficult. It's expensive. It's hard to watch kids. And if you're by yourself doing it, it's difficult. But if you have a best friend, they moved in together and they combined their households. They are not romantically involved at all, but they are a family. They've created their family, and they are helping each other raise their kids. And I think that's beautiful. I feel like we don't do that enough. We don't help each other out enough and help raise up our kids together and raise them right, and know that they have more of a community to support them. So I thought I like the idea of a commune. I don't like the idea of taking 13-year-old brides and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. That's what he was doing, and I think that's why he ended up going to jail.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
But now, like, they're probably 20 now. I don't know, but they can't ever marry anyone. They're starting to trickle out, I think, and so it's a very small group of people right now. But it's still very dedicated to each other now, and they're still dedicated because they are married in their eyes,
and it's a family.
They're dedicated to their husband, and while he's in jail. I forgot if they said if he gets conjugal visits.
Oh Lord.
I think he tried to petition for it.
So he could make more babies?
I could be making that up.
Probably. No, but then the question comes around full circle. If you are polyamorous and have several relationships and say you've got children now introduced, obviously they would be raised with the idea that polyamory is how relationships look, because that's what you're exposed to. So would that be programming your child? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, right?
It is.
But I don't know.
It's just a different word for raising, I think.
Yeah, but it has
because
it has a negative connotation. You were programmed, which is like indoctrinated.
Like you can't think on your own.
Right. Like we are making
exactly.
This
That's
way,
what it is.
Where it's like nobody told me to be monogamous. I just saw it, and this is how, and I have a physical desire to do that.
I feel like I was programmed to be monogamous. I mean, that's all you see. It's the way society promotes, outside of what National Geographic or these documentaries about cults and stuff. I really didn't get any exposure to it. So
me neither. I didn't get any exposure to anything but monogamy. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there are also things that I got plenty of exposure to, and I wouldn't say I was programmed. I've made choices, and I think as an adult, when confronted with the ability to, like even when I was single, like you said, it doesn't feel, everything else aside, when it's just you and one other person alone, like it doesn't feel good to be like, okay, I could do this with this many people. Like I never was open to that or comfortable with that. So I don't know.
Like I said, I can't even, it's hard for me to date multiple people.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine. I mean, will that change? I don't know.
We shall see. Stay tuned.
What is that called? Where the woman has many different partners.
I'm Googling polyandry.
I don't even know how to Google. Oh, polyandry.
Fraternal polyandry.
Yeah. Yes.
In which a woman is married to 2 or more men who are brothers. Oh, fraternal polyandry. Dang, that would be some whole nother stuff.
Is that considered poly? I'm just kidding.
Polyandry.
What about twins? Okay, I'm open to twins.
Oh my gosh, that's doing a lot.
Yeah, I'm open to twins.
But isn't that even weird to you that you would have to have a subsect of polyamory that's specifically called polyandry, which is where the woman is the one, because it's so normal for the man to be the one with multiple, right? So, I mean, if we're talking about patriarchal structures, it's everywhere. It's not just in monogamy.
Yeah. It's programmed.
Right, but to say that monogamy is based in a patriarchal whatever, and you look at polyamory.
Everything is.
Right, so, yeah.
I mean, so for further context, you heard this about 100 times. I don't remember it, so I don't remember the conversation.
Oh, yeah. My editing process, yeah.
Well, I guess this is a part 1 because we still don't really have any clarity.
Yeah.
So
and I guess also just as a focus, like this is our first episode in February, and we're trying to focus on different aspects of love for this month. So polyamory is one way to express your love and loving relationships.
Yes.
That's a little bit about us not knowing anything about polyamory.
Well,
yeah.
Hey, thanks for catching this episode of Two Girls Shooting the Shit with Em and Mo. New episodes drop weekly. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.